I'm back again with another video. So I know I look like crap, and I've been looking like crap for the last several videos. Just that, I get back home, I take a shower, and I then record a video. So, I'm not gonna put on makeup and get my hair all pretty and all that. And I hope you guys don't mind. But anyways, if you guys already saw the title, you guys know what this video is about. It's a pretty touchy video, I guess, for me. I'm sorry if you guys can hear barking outside. It's pretty warm, but I honestly, and I know this is very TMI, but I don't want to be wearing a bra. As you can tell, I am not wearing one. So, obviously I need to cover it, so I'm wearing this, which is pretty warm, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's why the window's open, because it's hot. But yeah, anyhow. Just gonna give a little bit of backstory behind, why I'm doing the video. I've talked about my grandpa several times in videos, lives, and stuff like that. So, you guys know a little bit if you guys have seen previous videos. But then, last Saturday, September 9th, was his first year anniversary of his death. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my brother's singing in the other room. He's pretty loud singing, so if you guys can hear it, that's that. But if not, then I'm just saying that because I can hear him. But anyhow, yeah, it was 1 year. It's been 1 year since his death. So, as I said, if you guys already saw the title, you guys know this is going to be more of an in-depth of what went on and led pretty much to his death. Which is pretty messed up, I guess, but I feel like I've mentioned him so much, and I've talked about him and all that, but I never really mentioned what happened. It was so quick it happened, and we were not really expecting it to happen that fast. It went all downhill, basically, if you want to put it that way. So anyways, before starting the video, or the actual topic of the video, I would say if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please do so, because it will mean the world to me. Every time I see a new subscriber, it makes my heart beat so fast, and just it's amazing, Of course, it also breaks my heart every time I see that someone unsubscribed, because as a small YouTuber, every time one person subscribes, I can tell, and I know. So, yeah, and if you guys know people who will love content that appears in my channel, you guys should recommend my channel, so you can also subscribe. That I'm messing up my words right now. But yeah. Plus, if you guys really enjoy my videos and you guys already subscribed, don't forget to like and comment, because I love reading your comments. They're amazing if you guys are just saying thank you for posting a video, you're really good at it, something like that. By the way, if you guys notice my voice, sounding kind of weird, I'm sorry. I have no idea what's going on, but as I'm talking, I'm kind of noticing my own voice kind of acting up. So if you guys can't hear that, then yeah, but I totally can hear it, so yeah. Anyhow, now let's get to the actual video. It pretty much all happened in a span of 10 days maybe? Probably 10 days? It wasn't 2 weeks, that's for sure. But in a span of a little bit less of 2 weeks, probably 10 days, it all happened from him being diagnosed to dying. Yeah. So, it was August 29th, 2016, my birthday. I was turning 18, everything was great, all that. I came home after school, and I saw my grandparents there. Not my grandpa who passed away, but my grandparents from my mom's side. And I was like, oh my god, what are they doing here? I was really not expecting anyone to be here, right? Because I came home late from school and all that. But they were there, everything was great, and then I hear that my other grandparents are here, and I'm like, oh my god, because I love both of my grandparents from my mom and dad's side, but it's just that my grandpa and we had, I don't know, it was a different type of connection, I guess. He was more, I love my father, don't get me wrong, but he was a father figure to me as well, in some ways, supportive ways, I guess you could say. My dad is a supportive man, don't get me wrong, but with my grandpa, it was more he wouldn't. My dad's very supportive. Okay, I just want to say that beforehand. My dad's very supportive. He's like, you want to sing? Sure, you sing. You want to dance? Dance, But as the process goes on, my dad is a little bit of making fun, I guess. Not really meaning it, just like, you know. My grandpa was more like, don't listen to any of that. You do you, you know. I want you to sing me a song. Sing me a song. I want you to not be afraid to all that, you know. He was not that intimidating as my dad is. But, you know, anyhow, I loved my grandpa so much, and he was someone so important to me. So whenever he got here, because plus I didn't see them that often as I saw my grandparents from my mom's side. So when he got there that day, it was like, Grandpa! First it was my grandma. She was always the first one to come in, because my grandpa would drop her off exactly at the door, and then my grandpa would go find parking, and then he would come. So first my grandma was like, oh, Grandma, and yeah, you know, hug and all that, right? And then I was waiting at the gate to see my grandpa come. And I remember precisely there was this man selling stuff. I guess he was passing by and selling stuff. Food, something. I have no idea what it was. And I remember seeing my grandpa, and I'm like, where is he? And then I see he was like, what is he buying? And I remember I was like, what is that, Grandpa? And he told me, but I honestly forgot what it was. And he's like, they're really good. One day you're going to try them with me. I'm like, no. But okay. I know it's kind of like whatever, but it's nice to remember the little things. Nice to remember the little things, I'm sorry. And yeah, we were inside and all that, you know. Everything was great. My grandpa, since years behind, he's had heart problems. He already had a pacemaker and suffered some heart attacks, all that. So him being drowsy and just all sleepy all the time, it was just a normal thing. So being at my party, my grandpa, we noticed him that he was falling asleep and all that, but well, I guess I personally already saw it as something usual. I didn't pay much attention to it. Then, you know, they brought the cake, started singing the happy birthday song, or Las Mañanitas, I guess, because they sang in Spanish and English, I guess. I don't really remember. I know in Spanish for sure. And my grandpa didn't stand up, and it's fine, you know, I could understand. He was feeling And my mom says that when she was recording, you could see in the video that he looks yellow. Like his skin tone is very yellowish. So obviously that's very concerning. They see the video, they tell my aunt, and then, you know, they go take him to the doctor. And next days from that, they go to the doctor, check him up, and they say that he has, like, what was it? It was his liver, I think. I'm not 100% sure what, but I'm thinking it was his liver. He had cancer, and they diagnosed him, all that, right? Then they were gonna check if it was salvageable, you know, that he could survive or not. They went the next time and they told him that it was not salvageable, like salvageable, I guess. That's the way you say it. And they told my grandma and my aunt that he had 3 to 6 months to live. And they didn't want to tell him. I do remember hearing the conversations of them saying that they don't want to tell him. No. My dad saying that they don't want to tell him right now. Like, that there was 3 to 6 months. They wanted to tell him that it was 6 months to a year. Because they wanted, my dad said that if they told him that it was 3 to 6 months, he was going to get very sad and depressed. And, you know, he was actually going to die in that time frame. But they said if they told him that 6 to 1 year, that he was going to be a little bit more prosperous and probably live up to the year. By that time, they didn't tell him, basically. And then, you know, by that it was already September 8th, a Thursday, and my dad was taking me to school that day, and I remember him calling my grandma in the morning to see how my grandpa was doing and her. And my grandma told him that he didn't want to eat because he just couldn't keep it in. He would throw it up. He was just very sleepy. He was very drowsy. Like, everything was just going downhill. And my dad was obviously concerned, and it was like, okay, no, you know, it's going to be fine. You know, he told my grandma, all that. So then my aunt and my grandma take him that same day to the hospital to get him checked up. And basically, but I don't know exactly what went on or when they took him throughout the day. But I'm already out of class, all that, and my dad picked me up. And I remember, this is like rarely happens, and I don't know why this was the day that it happened. But sometimes my dad would put cool music in the car. We would sing and all that and have a good time and just chill nice in the car. Went to a cafe or something like that, and they sell like these really good cakes, and my dad bought a cake and was going to take it to my mom. We were in the car singing, and everything was very good. And that's not a very usual thing. Like, my dad does put cool music that I like as well, but it's not really that mood, you know? But that day it was. And then my aunt calls my dad, and my dad has the Bluetooth on so I can hear everything. And my aunt is like, we went to the hospital and they said that he has a week. So that was, I remember hearing that, and I couldn't, I guess, it didn't click in, I guess, in my head what happened, because I was a bit of in a shock that they said that, but it was more like, okay, he has a week. But it didn't hit me to cry or to feel a sadness, I guess. It was just more like, whoa. So that was that. It was then a very quiet way back home. The music wasn't there. The mood wasn't there. It was more like, okay. I kept repeating in my head, 1 week, 1 week. You know, it's kind of like, no. Like, he's going to live more up to that. He's been through worse. He has. They were in a car accident, him and my grandma once. In a car accident, very, like, it was bad, you know. My grandpa had heart attacks. He already had a pacemaker in him. He's fainted, hit his head. He seized before. Like, he's been through so much. I was like, you know, he's going to get over this. You know, they say it's a week, but he's going to be one of those that is going to be like, you know what? I fought even more. And he did. He fought all he could, honestly. But, they told that. My dad called my mom. And he said, you know what? We're going to your aunt's house. Because my grandpa was there in my aunt's house. So we're going to your aunt's house. We're going to go pick up your mom and your brother. And we're going over there. And I was like, okay. So we're in the car. I was like, wow. So I went inside. And I went directly to my mom. She was in her crafting room. And I came up to her. And she's like, I'm so sorry, mija. And that's when I broke down into tears. I'm like, I can't believe it. That means he's gonna die. You know, I can't. And my mom was like, go call your brother, you know, because he was outside playing, my brother. I was like, go call your brother and go tell him to come inside. And I called him in, and he's the type of guy who was like, yeah, I'll go in a second, all that. But he needed to come, obviously. Like, come over here. And he was like, what's wrong? I'm like, we're going to my tia Becky's house. He's like, why? And I told him, you know, the doctor told my aunt, my tia, and my grandma that my grandpa is probably not going to live over a week. He's going to die. And then my brother started crying, and it was so weird to see my brother cry. I've seen my brother cry before. But there's some times where he fakes cry, and it kind of seemed like he was fake crying, but then at the same time it was like genuine. I don't know. It was weird, but I could feel him being very sad. And then we were already in the way to my aunt's house, and my dad said, you know what? I don't want you guys to cry in front of your grandpa. Don't cry. My grandpa by that time already knew. They told him because, you know, he only had a week to live. Or that's what the doctor said. So they said, you know what? He has to know. And we were like, okay, we're not going to cry. We're going to be cool. And I got there. My grandpa was there. We went to say hi to him, and my dad and him had issues. They didn't have the kindest relationship, I guess. They always fought and all that. So my grandpa called him into the room. They had the door closed. They were there for a while. And my dad came out. They went into the kitchen, and my dad was crying. It was the first time I ever saw my dad cry, ever. It was like, okay, this is for reals now, because my dad was crying. My grandpa went and told him, you know, I'm so sorry for all this that we've been through. I'm so sorry that I treated you like that I educated you like that. That's just the way I knew how. You know, my grandpa was saying his goodbyes saying sorry, you know, apologizing for a lot of things. And that's when you know, like, shit is getting real. So, after that, he came out, he was eating a bit. It was kind of hard not to cry, believe me. But yeah, and, he was just joking around, saying, because a family friends, I guess they are, friends of my grandpa, who are family friends, I guess, were like, oh, we're gonna go, you know, we're leaving, and my grandpa was like, oh, I'm gonna go with you guys next time you guys go to whatever place they were going, and they were crying because they're like, he's obviously not. Kind of sad that he's like saying that. And he was saying his goodbyes. He was like telling us, you know, you guys better take care of your grandma, you know, and don't make your parents mad and all that, you know. I was like, no, why are you saying this right now? No. It was that for a couple hours, and then he went to sit inside in my aunt's room. And he was sitting in this chair inside, and me and my brother were there, and my dad. And God, it was... My grandpa always used to say that I was his favorite grandchild because I was the first one. I never believed him because I'm like, I wasn't his favorite. How am I gonna be his favorite just because I was the firstborn? No. And when he said what he said, it was just like, oh my God, I broke down into tears. We were sitting there, and I remember perfectly him turning to my brother and saying in Spanish, no es por nada, mijo, pero tu hermana siempre ha sido mi favorita, which translates to, I guess it loosely, like, not trying to offend to my brother, but your sister has always been my favorite one. God, I couldn't. I don't know if you guys can hear crying outside. That's my puppy. But anyhow, yeah, it was a lot. I don't know, like, those words, I guess, just hit me, and I was like, fuck. And then my brother was like, no, right, it's okay, like, I knew it. And then the pain and how we were seeing that he couldn't, that they decided to call an ambulance and take him to the hospital. It was bad, I guess, seeing the ambulance come and take him and that, right? Because they said he had a week to live, it was kind of like, he's gonna be okay, you know, be stable. And my mom said, you know, you should go to your uncle's house. And we did, my brother and I didn't want to go at first, but we did. And as soon as we got there, you know, my uncle went upstairs with my aunt, and they called them to say that, you know what, the doctor says maybe not even gonna make it throughout the night. So my cousins, my brother and I, they took us, my aunt and uncle, they took us to the hospital. We were there. He was stable, I guess. He was drugged up, and he wasn't feeling pain. He was barely talking, but he was talking a bit. And they said, you know, we had to go say goodbye and that we love him. It was very, very hard to say that, because one thing is that him being in the house and him talking and being all okay, and then going to the hospital and saying, I'm probably not gonna make it through the night, so say goodbye. And I remember I only said goodbye, I love you. I didn't give him a hug, I didn't give him a kiss, and believe me, I wish I could have, but I didn't, because it was just so weird looking at him like that. I couldn't. And we were there until late. But then my cousin had school the next day, Friday. I did it. I don't have classes on Friday, but he did that last semester. I guess that semester that we were. So we went back home, and my brother and I were sleeping in the same bed, and I couldn't sleep. First of all, afraid of the dark. second of all because I couldn't. I was waiting for my phone to ring or something. I ended up falling asleep. My cousin actually woke me up saying that he was going to school. And I woke up, my brother and I woke up. We went downstairs, my cousin and then I messaged my mom. I was like, he's stable. I'm like, oh my god, he survived the night. And it's now September 9th. My cousin and I were chilling. We were like, it's cool. He's stable. He's probably gonna make it. We're not thinking negatively because it was such a horrible night that we thought he's stable. That means that's a good sign. So I remember her calling her mom to say if we could go get Starbucks. It was right across, basically a few blocks from there. And we did. My boyfriend actually messages me like, where are we? What are we doing? And I told him, so he went to pick us up. He lives really near to my cousin's house. So he picked us up. We were all chilling. We were having fun. We were laughing. And then we go home. I remember my phone rings. First on Messenger. And the call was cutting up really badly. Very, very badly. Like, I couldn't hear a single thing. And if you guys have Messenger, like Facebook Messenger, if the call doesn't go through or it cuts or something, it sounds like the machine, I guess, that has beep, 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 all that crap. This basically, this thing that marks that, it sounds like when it goes flatline if the call doesn't go through, I guess. So when I heard that, I've heard it before, but the moment I heard that, I guess it just hit me that this was not a good sign for some reason. I don't know why, and then she calls me on my cell phone, she actually calls my number. And I'm like, what? I remember this is my boyfriend, right? And I'm laying on him like this, and I'm like on the phone, and she tells me, I'm sorry, mija, your grandpa passed away. And I stand up, I sit up straight, and I'm with the phone, and I kind of like a few seconds of quiet. I was in shock. I was like, what? She's like, I'm sorry, mija, your grandpa just passed away. I was crying, and I was saying, no, he couldn't. And my brother and my cousin, they were there. My cousin, you could see her eyes. They were tearing up, but no tears were falling down her cheek. Her eyes were just tearing up very badly. And I'm like, okay. And she tells me, if we can come over. But I'm like, Alex is not here, my cousin, so, we can. And she's like, it's okay, we'll go there. Like, I'm very sorry, mija. And I'm like, okay. And I hang up. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. And then my cousin and my brother are like, what happened? What? And I'm like, grandpa passed away. And they're crying, and I guess I just don't think about myself, and I go and comfort them, and it's horrible. As we're crying, they cremated him. Went to take this ashes, and taking the ashes wasn't that hard. I guess knowing the fact that it wasn't, I couldn't see him, it's not as hard. But yeah, that was the whole process, the whole in details process. I kind of teared up a bit. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a 30-minute long video, so I'm very sorry that you guys had to, if you guys are still watching this, or had to watch all this, I'm very sorry. Very long video. I'm so sorry. I'll leave it to here, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and if not, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to cut as much as I can, but I'm talking too much, and I'm talking very fast just to end this. So yeah, bye!